Okay, so video 5 for you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about that positive feedback loop. So negative feedback, we said that estrogen and testosterone stop the release of hormones. Now we're going to talk about positive feedback loop, which means the increased release of hormones. Okay, so positive feedback loop in females, this is going to occur during labor. And this is going to be caused by a pressure on the cervix. So the fetus is in the uterus. This is going to put pressure in the cervix. So because of fetus, and this fetus is going to put pressure on the cervix and cause a nervous signal which is sent to the posterior pituitary. So notice I'm saying posterior pituitary because anterior is releasing FSH and LH. The posterior pituitary is in charge of the release of oxytocin. Okay? So nervous signal is sent to the posterior pituitary. This then allows the release of a hormone called oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is actually made by the hypothalamus. It's only produced, or it's only stored in the anterior pituitary. Okay? So it's kind of like our gallbladder. Gallbladder only stores our bile, which is actually produced by the liver. Posterior pituitary is just going to store the oxytocin and release it, but the oxytocin is actually made by the hypothalamus. So what happens when this oxytocin is released? It is going to act on the uterine muscles, and this is going to cause contractions. So oxytocin causes contractions in the uterus. This contraction puts more pressure on the cervix, so because of that fetus. This increased pressure on the cervix is then going to again send the signal to the anterior or to the posterior pituitary to release oxytocin. Oxytocin does contractions. Contraction increases the pressure, and you can see that this feedback goes on and on and on. So that's why we're calling it a positive feedback, and it occurs until the fetus is born. Okay, so go to your last location.